Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure, where we are back on the Macabre after, I think, liberating Crossbar City? Anyway, a giant tree of light appeared. Apparently it's Kia, and all the big villains, Maria Bell, Vault, the Red Constellation, and Arios are over there, but we will not go there because we take the time to investigate Crossbell and the surrounding areas now, as a little bit of exploration and stuff. Anyway, friends, what's up? Oh, hi, Lloyd. Looks like you didn't get much sleep last night. Are you doing okay? Yeah, I think so. I'm probably just fatigued from having to juggle so many crises all at once. If you say so, just try not to push yourself too hard, okay? I don't know what I'd do with myself if I lost you, the others, or I just a bit naïve. I get scared about it sometimes. It's okay, friend, we'll be careful. Being careful isn't enough. You need to rest up during times like these. Oh, I know. I could give you a back massage if you want. If I focus on the right pressure points, I can take out those knots like pow! Instant energy! That sounds more painful than relaxing. No, I'm good. I really appreciate the thought, though. Just talking with you is enough to lift my spirits, friend. Wow, really? You don't know how happy I am to hear that. After all, boosting the team's morale is one of my responsibilities as your operator. And trust me, you do a stellar job of it. The SSS would have a hard time working through the stress without your smiling face to greet us on the terminal screen. I'm sure everyone at the department feels the same way about working with you. Ah, come on. Now you're just flattering me. But you're right about one thing, Lloyd. I'll always be there to cheer you on the SSS on. That's why I want you to have this. Friend's Charm. Is this a good luck charm? Yep, don't be shy. Go on, take it. I mean, it's a way to pray for you guys' safety, so I'm sure it'll work like, well, you know. I better do. Thanks for his friend. Uh-huh. Take good care of it, okay? Friend's Charm. Massive defense boost and an evasion buff. Oh, not bad. I can sense a presence similar to Kia's emanating from that tree. Maria Bell stated that the tree itself is Kia, correct? I'm still not sure what to make of that. What could she be trying to achieve by bringing it into existence? Honestly, I probably should have gone back to holding up in my base in the geofront. What's going on with you guys is too much fun to pass up though, so since I'm already here, I think I'll just stick around till the end. You better be grateful, got it? Breaking news! Massive tree springs out of wetlands! You just can't make this stuff up. The thing's taller than Orcus Tower. I bet you can even see it from the Empire and the Republic. And again, the entire continent already has its eyes on Crossbell. Azure tree or no? I wasn't gonna miss the opportunity to cover this. What's a few years of my life in return for the story of a century? Alright. Any new quests? Yeah. East Crossbell Highway Monster Extermination. A dangerous monster, Akamana, has been sighted on East Crossbell Highway. Ancient Battlefield Monster Extermination. Dark Legend. And Nox Forest Monster Extermination. The Magikong. Or Magikong? Or Magikong? Or... I wonder if Bell planned on discarding her father from the very beginning. Do you think Mr. Grimwood was the mastermind behind the whole plan? I can't make any sense of this, but the more I linger on it, the more confused I get. There's one thing I know for sure, though. We have no choice but to venture into that Azure tree. Everything that happened on top of the towers has me still a little overwhelmed. I have a score to settle in that giant tree. Only then will I be able to come to terms with myself. My mind is made. We should depart as soon as our preparations are complete. Wish has fulfilled her promise to herself, now that Arconsia and Crossbow City are free. Maybe she can be convinced to visit Ilya at St. Ursula before we storm the Azure tree? You're going to want to stock up before we make our way to the Azure tree. That said, there's a limit to what we can provide here. Might be a good idea to check in on your allies around Crossbow and visit any facilities we don't have on board. You never know what could happen next. Make sure you don't leave any regrets behind. The giant tree showing up has even the holy city of Ateria in an uproar. What we have here is an unanticipated miracle, one that wasn't even referenced in any of the church's testaments. The salt pail that struck Northumbria was the same way. It's only natural our leadership would be cautious. But as long as Kia is in there, we can't afford to drag our feet. I'll take full responsibility with the church for whatever we do from here, so let others know when you're ready to head to the tree. Whether you will manage to have any impact whatsoever on the Azure tree, I couldn't say. Its power rivals that of even the goddess herself. That's no exaggeration. Never did I imagine the obsessive delusions of man would be powerful enough to spawn such a thing. The tension aboard feels even higher than it was while we were working to liberate Crossbow City. This is going to be our final stretch. Ideas be with you all. With Aria's gun, command of the CDF has been transferred to Commander Bales. My forces have their hands full quelling the civil unrest caused by the Azure Tree's sudden appearance. I'm tempted to go down and help them, but I know the situation is under control with the commander at the helm. Let's keep moving forward. We have our own mission to complete. Who cares what that huge tree is? As far as we're concerned, it's just another weed for us to pull. Am I right, Lloyd? As long as we remember that we're fighting to bring Kido back, we're golden. So come on, if we have time to sit around and gossip, we may as well get to storming that thing. There's something I want to tell you, Bennings. You've grown a lot this past year. Come again? It's obvious now that I've been able to observe you and your team at work. Your deductive and investigative skills are sound. You're not the fresh-faced rookie you used to be. You still got a long way to go before you can measure up to Guy and McLean when they were on the force, but you're on the right path. Seems it was the right call to have you trained with the 1st Division. Where is this coming from all of a sudden? I'm not done yet. Pipe down and listen. Yes, sir. Now, even though I compared you to Guy and McLean just now, that doesn't mean you should try and emulate them. You have your own unique merits. Develop them, and you come that much closer to becoming a first-rate detective. I hope you take this to heart and work even harder to carve out your own niche. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Nothing really. I'm just surprised at all. It's not like you to dole out compliments, Dudley. Now listen here, the future of the Defense Force depends on how this all goes down, but the CBD will continue to exist no matter what. When this is all over and done with, I'm sure there will be a place for you on the Force. I simply felt I should offer my guidance as a senior detective of 1st Division in order to prepare you. Nothing more. So that's how it is. Thank you, Dudley. I keep on striving to live up to your expectations of me. Don't put words in my mouth, Bennings. Everything I said is based on my objective analysis of what you've accomplished up to this point. More importantly, unless this current crisis is resolved and the truth is brought to light, there won't be a future for either of us. How long will it take before he finally opens up about the way he feels? Wipe that grin off your face, Bennings. Sorry. Lloyd and Dudley learned Hearts of Iron 2. So they're Detective Do-Right. I think this is for having maxed out the relationship points with Dudley. Good. Then organize party. Even the church has yet to discern the true meaning behind the Azure tree's emergence. There's no telling what would happen were we to enter it. Alternatively, we could use this time to visit other locations around Crossbow. If there's other business you need to take care of, perhaps that should take precedence. Now, where would we want to go? Let's start with mines. What's with that pale blue tree in the distance? Mines is one of the highest places in the state and still taller. It's crazy! Grandma's the history buff around here, and even she has never seen anything like it. I'm starting to get the jitters. I never thought I'd see anything like this in my lifetime. Snap out of it, Carlos. Now's not the time to be getting weak in the knees. The mine is open again and everyone is motivated to work. Got to look on the bright side of things. After all that commotion way down south, a couple of exhausted bracers and a crying little girl showed up here. I'm guessing they're part of a group that freed Crossbow City? We're happy to host them for as long as we need. Any allies of the resistance are allies of ours. A different bracer came by earlier to get rid of some monsters for us too. We can't thank them enough. Gans and Marlo looked weirdly giddy while they were on their way to work. I bet they're planning to throw a party tonight to celebrate the mine reopening. What a pain. But considering everything else going on outside the village, it's a relief to know some things never change. Well, I'll be here tonight anyway, so I may as well enjoy myself. Oh, hey guys. Hello. Estelle, Joshua. So this is where you went after the operation. We heard you guys laid waste to one of the ions. Indeed, with Patamat, you all must make for a formidable team. Yeah. Well, it's true we wouldn't be here if not for his sacrifice. Huh? Come to think of it, there's Wen. Fast asleep. Meister Jörg. Meister Jörg. We weren't aware you were here. Well, I am, at their request. Despite the chaos outside, I couldn't stay away after Pater Marta's death. But the Chasm died? Wait, so you mean... Yeah, he grabbed that blue iron, dragged it up into the clouds with him, and then... He... self-destructed. Completely of his own volition. So that's what happened. That machine opted to sacrifice itself? Pater Marta. She's probably been crying for hours, huh? Poor girl must be tuckered out by now. Of course she is. The two were so close, they were practically inseparable. Pater Marta resigned itself to its fate. I cannot help but admire the heart it displayed in choosing to give its own life to protect that girl. As a doll maker, I couldn't be prouder. Meister, we've been getting in reports about what's going on. Things have gotten worse, haven't they? We'd be happy to lend you some help once we're fully recovered. Thanks you too, but you don't have to worry about that. Your health should be our top priority right now. Take all the time you need. I'm not saying we wanna end up like that little Missy's doll, but taking Keto back is something we gotta do on our own, no holds barred. We can respect that. Good luck, guys. Be careful out there. May the goddess protect you all. We're told that Professor Novartis has already left Crossbell too. Must be a relief to know that you won't have to deal with the society from here on out. To be honest, we're not even sure what their goal here was. But from the sound of it, their sights are really set on the Empire. The phantasmal blaze plan. What they did in Crossbell may have only been the first ripple for a much larger scheme. I hope Olivier and the others are alright. When you say Olivier, you're talking about Prince Oliver, yeah? That's right. We haven't been able to get in contact with him since the Civil War in Erabonia began. He's probably not in any danger as long as Mueller is with him, but then again, it's natural to be worried, given the circumstances. Oh, that reminds me, you all should have this. The Murian ore shard. Where do you guys get this? We found it near where Pater Martyrs passed away. I'm assuming it broke off the ion. Maybe you can find a good use for it? I see. We'll try our best. The Azure tree. I think whatever's going on there is on an even greater scale when the Liber arc showed up in Liber. Be careful, everyone. You guys better be careful out there. Give him a good fight, but please don't end up like Pater Martyr. You got that? Yeah, loud and clear still. You know, we probably wouldn't be alive and kicking right now either if it went for the big guy. We should have thanked him at the Doll Studio while we still had the chance. Yeah, I wish we could have gotten to spend more time with him too. Don't worry about Ven, by the way. She's grown a lot stronger over these last 6 months. And she's not alone anymore. I know she can make it through this. That's great to hear. Please give her our regards when she wakes up. Pater Martyr's logic circuits were not originally designed with autonomous functionality in mind. Perhaps through its time with Ren it's acquired something akin to a soul. I've been a doll maker for decades now, but evidently I still have much to learn. What tragic what transpired today may have been in Ren's best interest. A feeling of genuine loss is something she was unable to process properly in the past. With this, her world now begins anew. Pater Martyr, why? Why did you? When? We should let her rest. Mireille and the rest of the former CGF members fought hard for us through their resistance efforts. And for so long. They thanked us repeatedly before leaving town, but really, we are the ones who owe them a great debt. I'd like to invite them back to Mainz once all this is over and done with. I hear the guards who joined the resistance are now working with the defense force. Once President Kreutz was arrested, the hostilities had no reason to continue. It's a relief to know that Mireille and the others' efforts haven't gone to waste. The mine is reopened and spirits on the up and up again. That being said, the real battle begins now. Dad and the miners got to go back to the mine today. Seeing them happy makes me kinda happy too. Is that weird? No. The big tree freaked me out, but I'm happy that the mine is open again. I hope Dad and the others have a good day of work. It's a great relief to know that Loki can return to the mine. I can't say for sure what will become of Crossbell from here on out, but as long as the younger generation stays strong and grounded, I'm sure there's hope for the future. Max is feeling better again, and thank goodness for that. Seeing him and his fellow miners so hard at work is nothing short of inspiring. As a proud woman of mines, it's my duty to support him as best I can. Our folks and minds are real proud of our mine. It's that pride that'll carry us through the rough times, no matter how crazy things get. I'm sure you all have something you can't give up on too, and never forget that. This big weird tree popped up out of nowhere outside, but Daddy's been smiling ever since the mine opened back up. As long as Daddy's happy, that makes me happy too. I had to exterminate some particularly dangerous monsters when they opened the mine back up. They were nothing special compared to the magic golems that were cryptid, but still, hunting monsters solo is no easy task. Wow, that's pretty incredible of you. And just goes to show, they make bracers out of sterner stuff over in the Empire. Ha, you flatter me. Urbonia is currently embroiled in a civil war. I won't deny my concerns over how my homeland is doing. But now's not the time for that. We have other issues lying before us. We can't handle them now, then I don't deserve to look back on the past or toward the future. He never goes easy on himself, does he? Even with President Croix out of commission, Prosper is still in a precarious situation. I wait for the pair at the inn to get their fighting strength back before I ask them to lend a hand. Times are tough, but that's all the more reason for us to stand tall. I fear it may still be too early to open the mine, but if we want to bring the entire town together as one, there's really no way around it. I'd rather not see my husband go back down there, but I know he needs to. I have to support him. Times are tough right now, but we've got to do everything we can to keep mines kicking. Maybe I do enough, Luca will eventually come around on me. I was thinking of heading straight to the casino now that we can travel to the city again. But in the end I decided to roll up my sleeves here at work before anything else. Alright, let's do this. Once I get off work, I'll be able to have as much fun at the casino as I want. Alright, let's do this. Reopening the mine is a pain in the ass, but you know what? I missed it when it was closed. Not working here just didn't feel right. I guess I got mining in my blood after all. I had a talk with Mayor Biggs and we agreed to reopen the mine. These septium mines carry the lifeblood of our village in them. The way I see it, mines need this place to move forward. We've been away for a while, but now I can finally get back to it. Time to make up for all that lost digging. Everyone's really raring to go after being away from the mines for so long. Me? I'm about to explode. Dig, dig, and dig some more. That's what we miners do. Let's get mining! Belgard Gate. Been a while since we actually been there, especially at the front door. Hey Randy, it's been a while since I've seen you guys around. Yo Carter, how's it hanging here at Belgard? Well, pretty messy to be honest, the situation's being what it is. The commander has us on the lookout for a potential invasion by the Imperial Army. But seeing as Erebonia is caught up in a civil conflict right now, I doubt we have anything to worry about. It's true, not to make light of war, but maybe a blessing in disguise. Still, sounds like things are pretty stressful. Try to hang in there, yeah? Leave it to us. We'll show you guys what the defense force is all about. Funnily enough, currently we're in Trails of Cold Steel 2 over there, and they say exactly the same thing about the Azure 3, that it's blocking any chance of a potential invasion by Calvert. So it's a blessing in disguise. My knees practically gave out when the tree appeared in the wetlands. I wish there was some way I could help, but this is too much for a lowly private like myself to handle. For now I need to focus on upholding my duties as a defense force soldier. So much has happened so quickly. Our independence being declared invalid, the Secretary of Defense going missing, and now the detainment of a president. Makes me wonder how much longer there's even going to be a cross-by defense force. I've been mulling over my doubts for hours and it isn't helping. There's a civil war raging in the Empire, but even still, I want to return to my homeland. Never in a million years would I have guessed the bridge was going to be destroyed, though. What are we going to do now? My father went to the balcony upstairs to see what's left of the bridge himself. Just our feet were stranded here. Just because the bridge between Coruscant and Ereboni is destroyed doesn't mean we shouldn't be wary of the Imperial Army. If they wanted to invade, they could get that bridge back up in no time. For better or worse, well, the Empire is caught up in a civil conflict right now. They'll give us some time to prepare. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. All I know is that I want to protect what's important to me. So here goes nothing. First thing first, and to eat and build up my strength. Everyone is uneasy right now, but I'm sure it'll be fine in the end. After all, Kled said he'd protect me no matter what. In return, I'm going to do what I can to raise the guardsman spirit. Between the giant tree and the word of the president's detainment, there's a lot to be restless about. I'll have to do what I can to raise the guardsman spirit. Times like these are horrible for your mental health. So when you rest, set a few moments aside to relax your mind as well. Maybe I should take that advice myself. I'm beginning to wonder if we'll ever see a day of peace again. The commander sided with the defense force and the second lieutenant started the resistance. Each chose their own separate path after careful consideration. As for the rest of the guardsmen, most of us got so swept up in the excitement of becoming the CDF that we just went with the flow. It makes me feel a little pathetic. We came to Belgrade Gate in hopes of returning to the Empire. But nobody ever told us that guerrilla force has been reduced to nothing. How are we supposed to get home now? Airship? Probably? Might take a while to get one going again, but I don't think I've been on the roof here. Ah, here's the Deputy Commander. The Imperial nobles have deployed an aerial warship for use in the Civil War. If something like that was paired with the Imperial Army's armored division, the Empire would be unstoppable. Can't be the only one wishing we still had those ions to protect us. Personally, I'm glad we don't have those ions anymore. I don't think any person should be allowed to wield that kind of power. Just looking at what's left of guerrilla forces sends shivers down my spine. Commander Bales, I was wondering where you were. Ah, hello, SSS. Quite revealing, ain't it? We saw it happen too, that white iron obliterating the railway guns in a blink of an eye. She didn't do it herself, but Kia's power was still the cause of this. We received some intriguing intel from the Empire that you may like to hear, but we have no way to confirm it. There are soldiers unaccounted for, but the Imperial Army is yet to confirm a single casualty as a result of the Iron's attack. Are you saying they could still be alive? Given what happened to the fortress, it would have to be a miracle. Again, this isn't confirmed, nor do we understand what's happened during the attack from a scientific standpoint. But the matter that was affected by the White Iron's ability to manipulate space may not have been destroyed per se. If that's the case, then Kia may have influenced the miracle subconsciously. I'm sure Erbonia is suffering enough due to the war. It would be a relief if their soldiers could be returned. By the way, I heard the good news. Your operation across the city was quite a success, it seems. It went better than we ever could have expected. Though it wouldn't have gone that way without your help, Commander Bales. You were one who opened up a path for us to nullify the Declaration of Independence. Please, I didn't do anything of note. Everything you have achieved is of your own doing. I have merely commanded the Crossbow Defense Force in accordance with the orders I was given by the President. Now that the state's independence has been called into question, I may not be fit to serve in this position any longer. Wait, what are you saying? You're not thinking of stepping down, are you? You needn't worry, I fully understand what is required of me here and now. As for what I'll do when all this is over, however, that's hard to say. Regardless, for the time being, I will carry out my role as a commander to the best of my ability. Deputy Commander Douglas is meeting with Speaker McDowell to determine a course of action going forward. As a CDF's commanding officer, I have to remain on full alert against potential conflicts with the Empire and Republic. As for what I'll do when all of this is over, however, that's harder to say. Good that I went back. In the forest, so it should be down here, right? Okay, and there's a monster. Exterminate. Magikong, a monkey mutated by alchemy. Its claws can produce various effects. Silver gem. want to take a look to the corner where we saw Walt when we were here originally, but I don't expect much. Just a blocked off path. Just a few blocked off paths. Okay. Good. Now we visit the missing chest on the road. The level 100 monster chest. Master Cryon? Master Cryon. Ugh. Uncool. So, the Master Crying, a rare ice monster that freezes moisture inside its bodies. This allows for powerful ice arts. Mercury Bell. Hello, Bicycle? Yes, the chest grabber is right here in front of me. Please, send someone quick. And the prison and the status report. No abnormal activity spotted in the vicinity of Academy. We continue to remain on the guard. We came here with Chief Yolik after the CDF withdrew. They left the place pretty understaffed too. Just leave the Academy to us. We'll keep the place secure. The defense force finally handed jurisdiction over the prison back to us. And that's certainly for the best. The security enforcement was far too strict. I agree. I know we're dealing with a potential invasion by the two major powers, but they still took it too far. They may have tightened security so much because I was in custody. Dieter seemed especially wary of the possibility of the SSS reuniting. As long as we assign the right people to the right shifts, our security will be just as foolproof as it was before. But we can't go in there. Is that you, Special Support Section? Thank Adios, you're safe. Same to you, Juan. It's a relief to see you holding up alright. Part of the Metropolitan Division has taken post here from the looks of things. Wasn't this place occupied by the Defense Force not too long ago? That's right, they withdrew after learning that the President was taken into custody. With all the chaos that's broken out around the state, we need them to place their full attention on settling things down. Once they cleared out, reinforcements from Police HQ arrived to help quash any lingering disturbances here. That's good to hear. Hey Juan, if you don't mind my asking, what happened to old Garcia? Got question, didn't he help you break out of jail, Lloyd? Yeah, I really owe him one for lending me a hand back there. Wait, what am I doing? I just admitted to my guilt of the scene of a crime. Actually, a detainment was deemed unlawful the moment President Croix was apprehended, so no harm, no foul. No need to worry your head over it at all, especially when there are far more pressing matters at hand. As far as Garcia goes, he put up a fight against the defense force and was eventually restrained. We have him back in his old cell, where he's currently undergoing treatment. Treatment? If he fought the defense force alone, he must be exhausted to the bone at the very least. He's going to be bedridden for some time, yes. But if you'd like to visit him, I could arrange for it. What do you say, Lloyd? Should we? Sure. I should thank Garcia for what he did for me back then. Yeah, I'd appreciate that, Juan. Sure thing, I'll have Melvin guide you there. Visitation is 10 minutes maximum. As the inmate is currently injured, you have been granted special permission to greet him in his cell. Keep in mind that making direct contact with the incarcerated party or exchanging objects of any kind is strictly prohibited. Understood. Alright then. Rossi, you have visitors? Send them in. Hello, Garcia. Ha, we meet again, kid. Good to see you managed to round up your pals. Oh, there, big fella, you sure you should be setting up right now? We heard you had a pretty nasty run-in with the defense force. Ha, I've been better. Wouldn't exactly call a bare-knuckle brawl against rivals and stunner, but stacked in my favor. Hell, just sitting up was a struggle. What an embarrassment I am. You're making it look easy considering what you went through. You certainly live up to your wanted reputation as stealthy as Killing Bear. That said, it appears to be the extent of his range of motion at present. I still owe you my thanks, Garcia. If you hadn't helped me escape this place back then, I'm not sure I ever would have found my friends, let alone make it this far. Lloyd. Ha! You came all the way here just to say that. I told you, our little partnership was over the second we got past the front gate of a prison. In my eyes, you're still a punk bastard who took down Avage. That ain't ever going to change, got it? So you say, but it doesn't mean I can't express my gratitude. So thank you, Garcia. It's because of you that all of us are together again. And now that we are, we're going to reach the truth, resolve this incident, and protect Crossbell. I promise you that. It makes me sick to the stomach how much you remind me of him. I can see it in your eyes, the tenacity, the way he wouldn't throw in the towel no matter what anyone said or how hard his ass got beat. You're a spitting image of your brother, Bennings, through and through. Damn, old man. I'll take it as a compliment. Can't believe you got me to say that sappy garbage out loud. Don't you have somewhere else to be right now? Can't make good on that promise if you're hanging out here. So go on, beat it. Right, I get the message. Let's go, everyone. Damn, old bear is holding it together a lot better than I thought he'd be. You're right. I'm sure he'll be fully recovered and back on his feet before long. That aside, I certainly was not expecting words of encouragement from someone like him. He's definitely changed since we first met, and with all the crazy things he's gone through this year, I think it only makes sense. What? Why are you looking at me like that? May you say that? Do you sincerely believe it has nothing to do with you? Lloyd does have that kind of effect on people. Huh? Come on, man. Being a baby-faced lady killer is one thing, but did you seriously become a bear tamer while you were behind bars too? That's the Lloyd we know and love. The defense force withdrew once they heard the president was in custody. Well, would you look at that? Your kids have given me a whole buffet of peculiar dishes by now. This should be more than enough to help a forensics class out with their training. Thanks for really cooking up a storm. Don't mention it, Juan. I'm always happy to lend a hand to the old alma mater. Commendable as ever, are we? You haven't changed one bit since those days, Lloyd. But at the very least, let me give you something as a token of my appreciation. It's an Enigma 2 quartz we recently put into service. They provided us with one extra, so I want you to have it. Shroud. It's the least I could do for all your help. Next time I need a hand, I know who to call. Oh, hey, SSS! I heard you guys were the ones who managed to liberate the city. And now you're off to finally put an end to all the turmoil here in Crossbell. Which means you're headed to the giant tree to rescue Kia, aren't you? Yeah, we are. I'm guessing Mireille or Sonia caught you up on all that. Even then, you seem to be quite familiar with Kia's circumstances. Yeah, we've had a lot of time to bond whenever I'd go to pick Ken and Nana up from Sunday school. Can't believe what I put her through. Propping her up as some divine child or whatever after we became independent. It's not like I fully get everything that's been going on or why, but I know she's been waiting on you to come rescue her. So do us all a favor and bring her home, and give her an extra hug from me too. Don't worry, we will. Yet another life that Kia and the SS have touched. Thank you, Yuna. I think we needed to hear that. We plan to fulfill our duties to the best of our ability. You make sure to do the same, okay? Right, leave it to me. I'll help out on the ground however I can. I'm gonna head into the city and do some hands-on training, by which I mean help out the department. You can count on me to take care of the things on the ground while you guys go out there to fight. Good luck, SSS. Well, this is Sergei's kids. If you haven't heard, I've been placed in charge of security around the academy to make up for their lack of manpower. It's been a long time since I was last an on-site commander, but I try to make it work for the sake of the cadets. Since becoming chief of a metropolitan division, I've typically been stuck behind a desk. But if it's for the sake of our young cadets, I have no issue with getting out in the fields and taking command of security here. There's quite a bit of unrest among the cadets, Chief. We also have civilians who were originally here for traffic school. They all want to return to the city now that the barrier's gone. That's understandable. Best we have that taken care of right away then. The ladies and I will handle getting them where they need to go. I want the rest of you to keep up patrols of the area. Yes, sir. So even here where civilians stuck due to the barrier because couldn't get out. Okay, cover. Anything on top of a tower? I doubt it, but I want to take a look. So I found nothing. But there was a... No, Knox Forest. I mixed it up with Knox Forest, so... okay. St. Ursula. Hey, what's up with a giant tree? And how is it glowing blue like that? It sprung out of nowhere too. What is this? Some kind of fairy tale? But anyway, I'll do what I can to keep the hospital safe. A giant blue tree sprouting out of nowhere is definitely not the way I expected today to go. Still, I do what I can to keep the hospital safe, even if it's straight out of a fairy tale. My apologies, everyone. I have to excuse myself here. Are you sure, Risha? Still not ready, huh? Wait, Risha. Why not come with us? The least you could do is hear Ilia's voice again. Hear her voice? You don't think you'll be able to face her until the dust is settled, right? I get why you feel that way, and I respect your decision. But would standing outside of Ilia's room while we visit and hearing what she has to say go against that? Doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. We've already come this far. Can't you just reward yourself just a little? Yes, keep in mind that our toughest battles are still to come. Ilia is one of the people you're fighting for. Surely it would give you strength to hear from her? They're right, Risha. And if we're there talking with her, she'll never notice you're right outside the door. Take it from me. After Wait on the City, it was seeing and hearing Fran again that got me back on my feet. You're right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll do it then. I'll come along and stand outside the room while you visit her, if you don't mind, that is. Of course we won't. Yeah, now let's go and see Ilia. The defense force has assigned soldiers to escort ambulances and buses along the highway. Between those injured during the martial law and those who otherwise couldn't visit the hospital right now, we're nearing capacity. Fortunately, Aeolia from the Racer Guild came to lend a hand. I feel like we'll be alright with her here. Unfortunately, that giant tree showing up has only made our patients even more anxious. I do what I can to keep them calm. So this is where you were, Cecile. Hello, Lloyd. I had to come out and have a look at that tree for myself. I've never seen anything like it. The sight of it is completely alien, yet somehow soothing. Almost endearingly so. It pains me to emphasize, but Belle did say that tree itself is Kia. In that sense, I don't think what Cecile is feeling is strange at all. Say, Lloyd, you're all headed there, aren't you? That's right. Somewhere in that tree we'll find Kia, as well as the truths we've been looking for. No matter how dangerous it may be, we can't turn back now. We have to keep moving forward. I understand. But if I'm being completely honest, I want nothing more than to keep you here with me, away from danger. 3 years ago, I lost someone I loved very dearly. I can't bear to go through that again. Cecile. But I know if Guy were with us today, he'd be doing the exact same thing as you. He would leap into action without a second thought to protect what's most dear to him. You're right, Cecile. So, that being the case, I want you to promise me one thing. That you come back safely with Kia's smiling face in tow. If you can give me your word on that, I'll stay right here, waiting patiently for you to return. Cecile. It's a promise. Just give us some time and we'll be back before you know it. This is going to be our most difficult battle yet, but we will prevail. That's right. Nothing is going to stop us from bringing Kia home. We also gotta beat some sense into Arios too. Right. It wouldn't be mission complete otherwise. Thank you, everyone. I think I can be at ease now. And as a little symbol of our promise, I want you to have this. Valiant Heart. What's with Cecile? A present Guy gave to me when I took up my final exam in nursing school. Whenever I feel I'm in need of a personal brand of strength or courage, I just take this pendant in my hand and clutch it tight. It's very precious to me, so as part of our promise, I want you to bring it back safely with you. It would be our honor. We'll make sure to return this once everything's settled. Good. Then may the blessing of a goddess be with you all. I want you to be especially careful out there, Risha. Ilya doesn't say it, but I can tell that you've been on her mind ever since she woke up. You think so? Valiant Heart. Plus 100 strength to defense, arts, attack, and defense. Also, I think an item for maxing out the relationship with a side character. We have a lot of patients to take care of today, so make sure you eat all the food you can, Miko. You're going to need it with how hard you'll be working on site today. Yes, ma'am. Won't let you down. Just try not to eat too fast. Choke, and you might be the one who needs taking care of. That's it, Miko. Eat as much as you can. Just try not to swallow too fast. Choke, and you might be the one who needs taken care of. I got a call from Mr. Hayworth earlier. He said he'd be stopping by the hospital today. I asked him to bring a fresh supply of vegetables from America for me to cook some proper dishes with. A nutritious meal is the most important thing you can give yourself, so I'm sure it'll brighten the patient's days. I guess everyone who could is gone home, right? The faculty's morale has shot up since we started receiving outpatients again. Everyone's going full throttle to take care of our new arrivals, so I'm going to match my pace and clean my little heart out. That tree is really something else, huh? Even from here, you make out all the tiny details on it. Kinda makes me wonder if our little crossbow is going to be alright when it's all said and done. I'll stay behind while you all go inside. Of course, whatever you're comfortable with. Trust us, we won't let on that you're out here. I was wondering where all of you were. I can tell things have taken a turn for the worse. We're seeing some bizarre giant trees sprouted out of nowhere. Yeah, the situation is complicated at the moment. To tell you the truth, we don't have the answers ourselves. As much as we'd like to, we can't say for certain that the hospital is safe either. Take care of yourself, Elia. We'd hate for something to happen to you again. Don't you worry about me, Ellie. I don't know what exactly is going on over there, but I do know you kids are going to pull through. As long as you keep on fighting, the things that matter most to you are always in your reach. The same goes for me. I'm not giving up until I take it to the stage again. You're in the final act now, boys and girls. Get out there and finish what you started. Thank you, Ilya. Hell yeah, nothing like a pep talk from a fervent dancer to get you raring to go. By the way, there's a certain someone over there who's so worried she just couldn't stay away. Am I right? Ilya, how do you... You could tell? I don't know who it is, but there must be a shy little sweetheart. One who's ironically reserved in spite of a strikingly perfect body of theirs. Doesn't know my ass. So much for not noticing her. Well, mystery stranger, whoever you are, you should know that I've already started my rehabilitation. So if you don't keep practicing, I'm going to catch up and pass you again in no time. If you don't want to be left behind, you better settle things quickly so we can finish what we started. One more thing. Take care and look after yourself. Because no matter how strong you are, you're still a young girl. That said, just like on our stage, there's some strengths that only a woman can show. As long as you remember that, I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sorry, Ilya. Well, I think I've taken enough of your valuable time for one visit. You all better be careful too, little guy. I don't want to find out that you made darling Cecile cry, you know? We won't, Ilya. Wouldn't dream of it. Is she crying? I owe you an apology, Risha. I never imagined she'd be able to notice you from outside the room. You were trying to conceal your presence with that magical yin hoo-ha, weren't you? Or where did she catch on? Simply put, Ilya is a genius. She probably knew it was me from the sound of my footsteps and the pattern of my breath. After all, synchronizing our breathing is something we're used to doing when we perform. If only she could keep this sharp and attentive to things unrelated to the stage too. She can be a little untidy behind the scenes. Such things are what we have come to expect from Ilya. But you know, I'm really happy for the two of you, Isha. Yes, that was just what I needed to strengthen my own resolve. I'm ready, everyone. Let's go. We're right there with you, Isha. Every step of the way. Hey, little guy, you're just the man I wanted to see. Do me a favor and take this. Fervent Dancer's hairpin. What's this? It's a hair ornament I was wearing on stage during my first night as Archonceal's lead performer. I've been holding onto it ever since. It helps me keep the same resolve I had with me that night. It's quite the collector's item, you know? I say, there's some nuts who would kill to get their hands on that thing. Ilya, I just can't take something like this, not when it's so important to you. Oh, it's fine. Think of it as a gift for all you've done for me. I want you to carry it with you as a good luck charm, okay? Alright, thank you, Ilya. I cherish it. Take care of that girl who's standing outside. Okay, what is the Fervent Dancer's hairpin? Plus 50 to strength and arts, plus 10 speed, and plus 50 accuracy. Howdy there, SSS. Good day, everyone. Inspector Donovan, is it alright for you to be out of bed already? Sure is, I just had my discharge approved a little while ago. I heard all about the operation you guys pulled in the city, so I'm ready to get up there and start pulling my weight. Granted, he was originally supposed to stay longer, so... Granted, he was originally supposed to stay longer so they could continue to observe his progress, but Donnie was practically begging to be let go. I gave him the okay, so long as he doesn't overdo it. I bet Raymond's gonna be stoked to see you back in action. And with you returning, Inspector, the 2nd Division will be practically at full strength again. Well, I'm not at 100% just yet, but I try to help out however I can without landing myself back in this room. I know you kids are about to have a fight of your lives, so be careful. We will, Inspector. The plan is to get back to the force ASAP. Can't say how useful I will be, but I'm sure there's some way I can help out there. I can tell you kids are about to have a fight of your lives, so be careful. Actually, Donnie wasn't supposed to get discharged for several more days, but he practically begged to be let go. I'm happy for him though. Best of all, I get to see him strut his stuff in those sexy suspenders again. After I'm done with my rounds, I have more surgeries scheduled for later. Talk about a busy schedule. Still, a doctor's duty never changes no matter what may be going on elsewhere. I have a responsibility to help those who are close at hand. That's what it means to be a medical professional. The doctor seemed especially frazzled with their rounds today. Not that that's any surprise or with a sudden influx of new patients. I just hope they managed to handle it all. Well, at least 2 of the beds are still empty. Another one upstairs, or even another 2 upstairs. I received word that I'll be able to leave the hospital today. It's been a huge weight off my shoulders. I know things outside are a total mess right now, but I still want to go home and be there for my family. There's probably all the in and out patients who just need a checkup or some medicine or something. Just when I thought things couldn't get any crazier, that tree showed up out of nowhere. Mother told me to keep my composure for the sake of the patients, but that's easier said than done. I don't know how much longer I can hold it together. If you're looking for Cecile, I think she stepped out to the courtyard to see the tree for herself. I wish I could keep my cool the way Cecile does. Now that we can accept outpatients again, we are as busy as we've ever been, if not more so. I can only imagine how many people have been kept from coming in for a visit these past few weeks. Well, I'm not going to let a little rush affect me or my nurses. We can handle this. I arranged for Mr. Hayworth to deliver any supplies we're short on. We are prepared to treat as many patients as we need to. Let's split up the patients, Saron. We'll get those temperatures taken in no time. Right behind you, Mayfair. You got the thermometer ready? Right here. That's not a thermometer, Saron. It's not? How is it possible to get this much wrong? The girl's going to be the death of me, I swear. Silly me. It's not even the right size, but it looks so similar I mixed them up. I'm so bored. This hospital doesn't even have a subscription to Hotshot. It'd be nice if I could at least get a visitor. One with a copy of Hotshot on them, ideally. What an idiot's name is that giant blue tree to the east? Oh, idiots, we beseech you, please save us. Yeah, but the outpatients. Oh, hello, SSS. I know things may seem bad right now, but now's not the time to lose faith. I hope we can all go to have fun again sometime after everything is settled. No need to ask me twice. I hold you to it, lamb. Better days are ahead. We'll be sure to make it back in one piece. We can invite the whole gang, Ada and Philia, Zeron, Mayfair, even Martha if she wants to come.
I don't want to take any medicine if it's gonna taste all nasty.
Before President Croiss's arrest, nobody was allowed to come to the hospital for anything that wasn't urgent. How can he be so heartless to a parent? Any illness or injury a child suffers is urgent. My mother's being discharged, so I'm here to pick her up. She's been stuck at the hospital all this time. I can't wait to bring her back home to us. I'm finally able to come see my friend in the hospital. Must have been lonely during all these weeks without any visitors. We have a lot of catching up to do. I'm so tired of waiting around. Thank the goddess we can finally come to the hospital, if only it went so crowded. The doctors must have their hands full. I hope they'll be alright. It's good to see more outpatients like me are being admitted again. I'd been at a loss since my prescription ran out. That was back before we got word that it was okay to come here. I couldn't tell you enough how important access to a hospital is to us older folk. It's certainly a load off my shoulders that we're accepting appointments here again. Thank goodness we're finally able to admit outpatients again. Our workload is going to increase, of course, but I couldn't be happier to help those in need. If not for the SSS, this wouldn't be possible. Please accept my sincere thanks for all you've done for Crossbow. We shouldn't get ahead of ourselves, considering we still lack medical supplies. Even so, being able to see our regular patients again is a victory in itself. The sooner we treat them, the better. For Crossbow to pull through this crisis, and Ursula must be at the forefront. Not just our doctors, but the staff as a whole. I'm busy escorting any patients who aren't able to come to the hospital until now. That applies to more people than I'd expected, as it turns out. It's going to take me several trips to help them all. You're really going above and beyond. Try not to overexert yourself, Aeolia. Loving words of concern for my darling Theo. Her reactions are always so blunt and calculating, and yet, underneath it all, is a caring sweetheart. I'm beginning to think that she and Chief Roberts would get along well. Okay, and now that I've had my daily dose of encouragement a la Theo, I'm raring to go. Just wait, Theo. When all this is said and done, I'm going to jump into your loving arms for a big old hug. My greatest battle might not be in the Azure tree after all. I'll be assisting you with the surgery today, Dr. Gailey. Very well. Please, they tell me you're synthesized a new anesthetic. Prepare them for me if you'd be so kind. Well, seems that bald head of yours isn't so empty after all. Ha, my head may be bare, but at least it's clean, unlike that filthy caterpillar on your lip. That said, you do seem to have an air of dignity about you today, as if you stepped right out of back alley Dr. Glenn. Well, shall we get on with the surgery? There's no time like the present. Let's. I should expect nothing less from an adversary worthy of my talents. Now when we have patients waiting for us, let us get to work. I may not like Dr. Lago, but there's no one else I can rely on more than him. Right now I feel like there isn't a surgery in the world I couldn't pull off flawlessly. Some of our patients' condition has been worsened due to the stress of what's happening in the state. Psychology is a tad outside our scope here at St. Ursula, but I'd at least like to provide those patients with a little peace of mind. Matters of the psyche have traditionally been the Septian Church's area of expertise. Still, these people came to our hospital to be treated. We have an obligation to try and provide some peace of mind too. We are swamped with patients right now, but it's not going to slow me down. I'm not even half the woman Dr. Salient is, but one day I aim to be just as capable as her. I heard what happened to Shizuku McLean, that her eyesight has been completely restored. As a former doctor, I should be ecstatic for her, but I can't help but have mixed feelings. Given what we've witnessed the last several weeks, I can only imagine her recovery is also tied to some sort of miraculous power. As a medical practitioner, it's frustrating to feel so powerless in comparison. My apologies, forget I said anything. Obstinacy is just an unfortunate habit of mine. That Shizuku McLean's sight has been restored as something worth celebrating. I wish her nothing but the best. The tree that appeared in the wetlands is unlike anything I've ever seen or read about. By what means did it appear? For what purpose? This is a scientific marvel for all the ages. Oh, excuse me, now's not the time to be indulging in academic curiosity. Not when there's work to be done. I should get back to maintaining this medical equipment for our patients. We're going to need it. The chief is usually pretty laid back, but she's been more focused than ever since the tree appeared. Now that she's been all keyed up, she'll probably end up working the next 3 days straight. I have to make sure I don't have any plans. Things were complicated enough without a civil war raging in the Empire. Not to mention a gigantic blue tree. Scott? I've been looking for a way to deal with the pleroma grass in these lotus fields. Problem is, the moment you weed it out, it grows right back. If only could get rid of it altogether. Agreed, removing those plants should be a top priority, seeing as they are known to cause cryptids to appear. Yeah, I'm gonna try some things out for now, and see if I can make any progress. Oh, by the way, there's something I want you all to know. It's time. I'm ready to set a date and tie the knot with Pearl. I haven't actually brought it up to her yet, with everything going on, but preparations are already underway. Oh my, congratulations to you both. Thanks. I think the latest round of drama reminded me of how much I love her. She's the one I'm fighting to protect. You get your invitations once the date is set. I hope you can make it. I kept Pearl waiting for long enough. I'm finally ready to set a date and get married. For me, being a bracer isn't just about protecting Crossbell. It's always been fighting to protect her too. None of us could have expected things to take a turn like this. Crossbell's burgeoning growth as a trade city and forceful bid for independence have stirred up the entire continent. It's possible this is all retribution for pursuing so much wanton innovation with little to no regard for tradition. Even then, there's no reason to just sit back and accept it for what it is. Say, this really is a trial from Adios. She could be testing us to see if we can overcome it. Maybe so. Perhaps it's time I changed my rigid ways of thinking. Harold returned to the city earlier today. Now Derek and I discussing how to best guide the village moving forward. We could have used Harold's expertise for a while longer, but I understand why he had to leave. He said he had other places he wanted to help. Wouldn't have been fair for us to ask him to stay. But that giant tree is putting all of our villages on edge. And although the president was arrested, that blue grass hasn't left our fields, and cryptids still roam the highway. I'd advise the villagers to remain cautious. We're not through the storm just yet. Wonderful how they can now work together, unlike before. Looking at that azure-colored tree makes me awfully uneasy. I can't afford to be frozen in fear though. Derek and Tota are working hard for a village, and I need to support them. I may not be able to do much, but I want to let my neighbors my support all the same. Angie, am I seeing things, or is that a giant tree in those wetlands over yonder? What the tarnation is happening? How is a man supposed to farm like this? Pull yourself together, Donald. You need to be the man of the house at times like these, for Camille and Pully's sake. Donald has a bit of a yellow streak, so I have to light a fire on him from time to time. When the going gets tough, it's on us to dig deep and push our way through. Angie's right, ain't she? How are villagers supposed to get food if us farmers on farm? The grown-ups are all freaking out, but I think that tree's the coolest thing ever. Climbing up something that big would be super duper fun, I bet. Falling probably wouldn't. Who knows what kind of legendary bugs are hiding those branches? Colin went home to the city with his dad, but he promised to come back and play again someday. A massive tree popped out of nowhere, but Camille and Polly are as relaxed as ever. Still, that's one of the reasons I like them so much. I have to be ready to reel those two in though, if anything bad happens. I was afraid Jake would buckle under the pressure when the tree appeared, but thanks to Harold's advice, he looks more motivated than ever before. My grandson's finally managed to find his mercantile spirit deep down. As long as he has that, I think he'll be just fine. Mr. Hayworth gave me some advice before he left. In times like these, our business is to do good business for the good of all. He's so right. If running Graham's store can help a village, then I'm gonna give it everything I've got. So step up, Rare General Store is open for business. I never used to pay much mind to Q's advances, but he surprised me this time. Can't believe I'm saying it, but he's more man than I give him credit for. Guess I owe the guy an apology for cracking up at him. Truth be told, a guy like me can't make heads or tails of a tree, but it's not gonna stop me from protecting Celie no matter what. I told her that and she laughed right in my face. Celie can laugh as much as she wants, but I meant what I said. I'm going to protect her no matter what. The tree put my jaw right on the floor, that's for sure. Still, when things get flabbergasting, it's important to take a step back from it all and decompress. Speaking of which, a worn-out priest and sister checked in a little bit ago. I think I'll bring them some coffee later. Maybe the occasional cryptid and the tree showing up, traveling the highways is still a little dicey. That didn't stop Harold from leaving though. He promised to bring back a book I'd like the next time he comes. Isn't it just like him to be so thoughtful? I can hardly wait for his next trip here. Harold's got some fine taste, so I'm sure he'll bring something that suits my fancy. I do hope he's careful though, it's still dangerous out on the highways. Harold and his family returned to the city. I was just getting to know Sophia, so I was sad to see them go, but I understood why they had to. The heroes are concerned about their neighbors, so they went back to the city earlier. I have to remember to stop by and say hello the next time Stefan and I visit the city. Wait, is that Reese? VSSS? Hey guys, how is it going? We heard about your victory. Yeah, big ups for shooting that high-flying Aeon out of the sky. It truly is a spectacular feat. Well done. Thanks. We didn't exactly come out of it unscathed though. I had to go all out, so I'm pretty drained right now. It's gonna take me a bit to recharge. Abbas did mention something about that. The power you have comes at a great cost, correct? It was that dangerous? It was. Stigmas are a source of forbidden power that is difficult for a human body to contain. There's a limit to how much of it can be released at one time. A Dominion would never be so foolish or reckless as to push that limit. Not a responsible one, anyway. Sheesh, Reese, I said I was sorry. Give me a break already, will you? Kind of ironic how the Dominion isn't the dominant one here. The Gralswider's Dominion are a far cry from what I've heard about them. In other news, how about our last second twist down in the wetlands, huh? The Azure Tree, a miracle born of mankind's obstinance. It's unthinkable that any being apart from Adios could manifest something like that. And at its core is Kia's power. That's right.
In all honesty, we have yet to come to terms with it ourselves.
But even still, we plan to close this case our way. This is personal for us. Not just as VSS, but as Kia's family. I never doubted you. You made your stance pretty clear the last time we were face to face. Our Merkaba's gonna be out of commission for a while. We'll come lend you a hand though if we can get it back up and running. And if we don't, I know Adios will be protecting you. Be careful, everyone. You got it, Reese. We'll be going then. During Sunday school, Kia would always talk about how much fun she was having with you all. Perhaps the squire of a Gralswider such as myself shouldn't be interjecting for personal feelings, but I want nothing more than for you to bring her home and put a smile back on her face. Thank you, Reese. Hers is a smile worth protecting. Apparently there's an additional reward if we visit Father Kevin with Vasi in tow? Oh, my cover's been out of commission for a while. We'll come lend you a hand though if we can get back up and running. And Vasi, you better not do anything too crazy out there. Take it from me, blow through your power all at once, it's gonna hurt. If it doesn't outright kill you, that is. Right, I take it to heart. Oh yeah, before I forget, take this, Lloyd. Yo, for real? Where did you get this? Found it where the ions crashed. It probably broke off on impact. I picked it up thinking you might be able to put it to good use. Maybe you will, maybe you won't, but go ahead and have it anyway. Well, if you insist, thanks, Father Kevin. Just what on the goddess's green earth is that tree off in the distance? It don't matter which way you slice it, it just ain't normal. All I want is to take my drives in peace again. You telling me those days are over forever? At this rate, who knows what the hell is gonna happen to Crossbell? All I want is to take my drives in peace again. They say the president was arrested in the city. A bracer made his way over to the village the moment the travel restrictions were lifted. Given everything happening in Crossbell, we need to help one another now more than ever. Good, but there was a monster somewhere in the ancient battlefield. An Archaism or is that a... Dark Legend, ancient weapon made for slaughter. With its scythe, it can kill in a single swing. terminated monster on the ancient battlefield, and a gold gem. So next we try visiting Zhao. Wouldn't be surprised if he's available again. No, he isn't. At least not here. Tangram Gate. Oh, the Highbloods and Shiburu. I met those boys near the east exit of the city. They said they were headed to Tangram Gate, so I decided to bring them along as my bodyguards. But as it turns out, they were totally useless. Still, hoofing it all the way here on the highway was actually pretty thrilling. Maybe I should double back and head for America now. Wasn't this girl supposed to know the safe way to take? I don't sign up to run a marathon down the entire highway. I thought I was gonna die. Oh, I asked, couldn't that monster chase someone else? There's been enough crossplay for me, thank you very much. We ran into a cryptid on the way here. I half expected it to kill us. At least we made it to Tangram Gate. Now we just need to cross over to the Republic. We will be able to go back, right? Never in my life have I been subject to this kind of treatment. It had better not be too late for us to cross back into the Republic. Even if Barrier Gun, we didn't have an actual kind of car to get home with. That girl we ran into offered to guide us here, but the cryptid showed up out of nowhere. I should have known hitchhiking wouldn't be easier. I should have known hitchhiking would have been easier. Who would have taken you along? The Republican army seems to have gone on standby in response to that blue tree appearing. Even still, caution is an absolute must now we have no barrier or Aeons to back us up. At this point, the CDF is crossed by its last bastion of defense. We need to be as vigilant as humanly possible. You guys, wait. I just remembered we're not supposed to arrest you anymore. I wonder what the defense was even aimed to accomplish in the end. When it was established, it felt like the CGF had finally found its pride, or at least that's how I saw it. But I saw it as a dream, one that we're only just beginning to wake up from. Even with a barrier gun, we still can't return to the Republic. I just want to get my little boy to safety. Dad, I want to go home. Situation up normal. There's a giant tree out in the wetlands. Just what in the world is that thing? I haven't been able to sit still since it appeared. No, get it together, Private. We must remain calm and for the sake of the civilians. Any Calvadians who didn't get out of crossbow before the barrier went up have been gathering at the gate. But seeing as we can't relax our guard against the Republic right now, we have no choice but to stop them from passing. It makes me feel a little bad, actually. I can empathize with their desire to go home. May not be willing to accept that, but hopefully we can make them understand our situation. When you know it, I don't have much of an appetite right now. No, it won't do. I'm in a position where I need my nutrients, even if I have to force myself to eat. The Empire or the Republic could invade us at a moment's notice. I have to be ready to protect our state. So much has happened so quickly, it's starting to make my head spin. One thing remains the same though. My mission is to protect Crossbell. I'll carry it out until my last breath. Rumors is that Ilya regained consciousness. It's true that Crossbell is in for some tough times ahead. But so long as we have Ilya as our guiding light, we just know everything will be okay.
Enough. Why in Adios name are you people keeping me here? Just who's responsible for this? There has to be someone I can blame.
I know things aren't great right now, but would you like anything to eat? Being hungry just compounds your anxiety and irritation, you know? Your mind will feel a lot calmer after a nice big meal. Yeah, being hungry definitely doesn't help when you're stressed. With the future being as uncertain as it is, Deputy Commander Douglas has gone to the city to figure out what our plans should be going forward. Between the big blue tree and the potential invasion from the Empire or the Republic, we've got a lot of problems on our hands. How much the Defense Force will be able to help remains to be seen, but I'd like to do whatever I can to keep hope alive. And as she said, Douglas isn't here. We're continuing to monitor the Republic per the Deputy Commander's orders. That said, it was only with the power of the Ions that we were able to keep the major powers' armies at bay before. The next time they press us, we probably won't be able to stop them. That tree, I bet you can see it from every point in the state. It appearing out of nowhere was like something out of a fairy tale. What's going to happen to Crossbow next? Your guess is as good as mine. A gigantic blue tree inexplicably popping up out of nowhere is anything but normal. Just hope Brute is doing okay over at Belgard. Sort of demon? Akamana, war demon that wanders Gehenna. Its fiendish abilities cast foes into utter despair. Ruby Gem. this is basically the attack 4 quartz. Cryptid. I scanned you before? Actually haven't. Plant armor. Hydra plant's tendril. Its savage nature leads it to attack any prey it finds. Waste, because it's the same. And the Hydra plant. Well, didn't think I'd find you here like Lord. Ha! I believe you said we were free to use this boat as we saw fit. You have no right to complain now. Of course not. A promise is a promise. Still, this place isn't exactly convenient. You know, you're welcome to join us at the branch office in town, right? Please, we haven't fallen so low as we need charity from the likes of you. It takes resilience to live out here for over a month, the way we two have. Looks like we've been drying fish and foraging for edible wild grass to scrape by. That deserves some kind of respect. Damn it all, we're supposed to be mortal enemies. Why is he acting so chummy? It's unbecoming is what it is. He won't win me over that easily. I'd forgotten that man said was the one allowing us to stay here. He wouldn't our precious alone time, and for that he's going to pay. I can finally fish outside the city. Nothing beats casting line with Mother Nature at your side. Sure, that enormous tree is worrisome, but if I don't cast, I can't relax. With fishing, much like anything else, it's important to keep a cool and steady attitude. That's why I want you to use these if you ever need some time to unwind, Master Lloyd. Wow, thanks, Peter. By the way, third man to check on the boathouse. Seems you've grown fond of it after spending all the time cooped up in there. But I think I end the episode here. Good. Until next time, I say then, when we actually explore Crossbell City, I'm Mace and don't get lost.